Hello folks and welcome to episode 11 on the Minicraft server, and today I am continuing my work in the pit. And at the moment I am just putting in some glass. I'm putting in the base layout for the modules for this creeper farm. So I started on module 1 during the last video, which is now finished. All 5 platforms, all 5 cats and what have you in there. There are 9 modules in total, and I'll just show you what they look like now. Here we go. So yes, there you go. They'll wrap all the way around the outside. So there'll be 8 more around that centre block. So we'll have 9 in total. You can already see the creepers jumping off there. I mean, even with one module, the rates on this thing are pretty good. So I'm actually live streaming tonight. So I won't be recording a lot of this footage because when I stream, I have my webcam on and it makes the footage, yeah, not great for YouTube and all that. But yeah, I'm kind of doing some prep work for my stream. Like I did a stream a couple of weeks ago where I was clearing the lava out, and my god, it was dull. And I vowed I wouldn't do that rubbish again. So I kind of wanted to be working on cool stuff when I stream. So that's, yeah, so I'm doing the prep work for that, so I can just get on with building as many of the modules as possible. So we'll see how that goes this episode. I'm sure we'll have other jobs that we need to do whilst we kind of take a break from this, because it's just a lot of work. There's a lot of resource gathering required. The trapdoors in particular just require so much wood. It's unreal. So I've been spending several hours at the tree farm gathering resources for this thing. Sand, we thankfully have a sand duper, but yeah, it's been fun. So let's crack up. And it was a pretty successful stream. I mean, it took 3 hours, maybe longer, and you can see I've now got 4 modules built. I actually ran out of wood for trapdoors, so even though I collected tons and tons of wood for that, I'm going to have to spend more time. But we can see the creepers dropping off, and the rates for 4 modules are pretty good, and it's quite laggy loading this up. But yeah, you can see them jumping off. I'm just in with my cam account now, just watching it, and it's really, really cool to watch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having all 9 modules. This farm is going to be just insane. Like, I'm going to have to start thinking about the death chamber room as well, because yeah, that's going to be mental as well. So anyway, the replay mod became available, so hopefully I can do a little time lapse now of me building some of the remaining modules. So yeah, I think we'll jump into a time lapse. I think that'll be cool. I'll jump back in now as we get towards the end of the time lapse, and you can see how much work goes into building up one of these modules, and you can see why it took me several hours to get these done. So I hope you enjoyed the time lapse, because I'm hoping to do a little bit more of them. I need to have a play around with the replay mod and understand how it works a bit more, because you can do cool stuff with the camera and have the camera move around while you're doing the time lapse and things like that, which you see in some of the Hermitcraft videos. So it'd be really cool to do some stuff like that. But yeah, so what, 4 modules in by the end of this clip, and 3 more to go. So yeah, it's one hell of a slog to do this, but it's going to be such a cool farm, as I said, and the rates are just going to be insane. So let's skip on a little bit. And I'm just placing in the last bits of the roof of this thing, so you have to extend it out by 15 off the edge of the platform so it stays dark all during the day. Do that, then I've got to light up the portals, and we can check out the rates of this thing. The one thing I have learned about the replay mod while I'm doing this episode is actually you lose the GUI of the player, so you can't kind of see what's in my inventory and stuff, and it's kind of okay. You know, I can do these third-person camera angles and stuff like that. That's cool, but yeah, I just need to learn how to use it properly, and then when to use like OBS to record my screen to do like live gameplay recording, and when to use the replay mod. I guess the replay mod is probably better for the time lapses I did a little bit earlier in this episode, and then maybe real life kind of recording when I just kind of want to clip in and show you what I'm up to, what I'm planning to do, that kind of thing. But for the rest of this video, yeah, it's kind of going to be replay mod clips, because I kind of went a little bit overboard in terms of, well, I'm just using replay mod now, I don't need to use OBS, and yeah, so I haven't recorded a huge amount of footage, so apologies for that, but hopefully you'll still enjoy the footage. It is some, I've been doing lots of builds, so, you know, doing all this and then doing the drop shoot, so it's going to be cool, but yeah, you live and learn. It's all new to me, so yeah, let's place in the last few blocks of these, and let's get the cam account on, and let's take a look at the rates of this thing. It is immense. I mean, it is absolutely raining creepers in here, and I've got 18 double chests at the moment, and they're going to be my buffer chests, and we're going to expand the storage down below. It'll be slightly slower once you're out the buffer chest range, but yeah, we're definitely going to have to do that. And I actually forgot to record the clip of this before I decorated the room, so through the magic of video editing, we're going to go back in time and we're going to decorate this room. And you're just going to have to pretend you never ever saw the fact that I'd already done it in this clip. Alright folks. Right, okay, so I've jumped on a little bit and we're into the drop shoot room, like just a second decorated. So I've used the polished blackstone variant for the ceiling, then used the blackstone bricks and mixed it in with some diorite. So on the one side this room is like based off a 2 block wide, and then on the other side it's the 1 block. So kind of had to do some funky stuff with that, and that's just because of the size of the portal. To be honest, I can't really change it at this point, and we're down to, these are the buffer chests. So I've got 18 buffer chests that get pretty quickly loaded, so there's 2 hoppers into every single one, so that should be enough that this doesn't get too backed up. And then off the bottom of these buffer chests, we're going to have our actual storage. So we're going to have 8 columns of chests, and then, I don't know, like maybe 10 rows or something like that, 9 rows, 9 rows probably, maybe. So that'll give us all our storage that we could ever need really for gunpowder. And I mean, this thing will fill it up in a few hours, you know, 1 run at night and the entire storage system will be full up for a while, I guess. So I'm just, yeah, gonna have to be a little bit careful here because, well, as you can see, it's a bit of a drop onto the lava. I've used some sand. I've dropped some sand down so that I can just redo this platform because there's nothing below it. So every time I go down like by 4 blocks, I just build out a new platform for myself. So what's going to happen here is we're going to put this storage in. And I'm going to have a layer of gold blocks around the edge. And then we'll go for that polished blackstone again, and that will form the ceiling of the expanded storage room, and then you'll be able to look straight up at the creeper farm, which I think will look really cool. So yeah, let's get on with that. Here we go, I'm just placing in the last few gold blocks around the edge so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just using these because I think it'll look quite cool and because I can, because Catch did that gold farm that I showed off in the last episode. So yeah, why not use a little bit of gold. So like I say, we're going to use the polished black stone. Polished black stone underneath, and that will form, I just need to remove that block, but that'll form the ceiling for the expanded storage room. I'll just show you what I mean now. Here we go, so I've started putting the polished black stone underneath, and this will be the height or the row of the ceiling, so we're going to go out by like another 4 blocks off the back of this, and that will form our storage room, and then we're going to have to do an entrance, I guess, to this thing, because at the moment there's kind of just some scaffolding down to here. I actually can't get to it at the moment, I'll have to pillar back up to it, but yeah, we'll have to do an entrance as well. So I'm going to crack on with the scene. We'll come back a little bit later on and I can show you how this room is shaping up. And this is what I'm doing for the ceiling. So I've managed to get my platform in so that I can place this. So we're coming off 4 blocks from the main drop chute. So this will really give the room like kind of a larger feel. And as you walk in, it'll be a good sized storage room. You're actually going to walk in from behind the chests where the hoppers are, so I may have to cover that up at some point, but I think that's going to look cool. And then the wall's going to come down. It's going to be very similar to above, so I'll have the polished diorite coming down, and then the floor, we'll have to do something for the floor as well. I haven't even considered what to do for the floor yet, so yeah, we're getting there, it's coming along. It's taking a little bit of time because like I say, I'm having to put in platforms every time I do this to go down like 4 blocks, otherwise I will die because there's just lava underneath and I can't really think of a better way to do that, so that's making it a little bit slow. But you can see what I'm going for here, so like a continuation of the drop chute but a much wider room, so it's much more impressive when you come in and you can look up and see those creepers drop into their death. Although I guess you're only going to see that if I am AFK, otherwise it should be empty. So yeah, I mean, I've had to collect so much blackstone. I wish there was a way that you could farm blackstone, but at the moment there is not. So I'm just kind of heading into the basalt deltas, and I think that's what they are, basalt deltas, and just yeah, just mining some blackstone the old-fashioned way. So I've still got a little bit to go to get all the chests in that I want, but we'll get there. Alright, and replay mod actually crashed and I lost the footage, so we're going to go down. I've got all the entrance and that done, so I've used the blackstone theme and polished blackstone on the ceiling the same as before, and then for the ground, because of the biome it's in, I've kind of just gone with black carpet and orange carpet and covered it all up, and then diorite, polished diorite for the stairs, which I think it all comes together really nicely. I need to do some detailing on this because obviously the walls are a little bit plain, but let's head on down into the storage room, which I think is looking really cool. So yeah, nice big expansive room. Still got our little cat here who managed to sneak through a portal when I was trying to get it into place. And yeah, so we've got, I think, 9 rows of chests, and I've AFK'd it overnight since I've done this as well, so these are pretty rammed. I mean, I haven't calculated how much gunpowder that is, but it's, you know, it's enough that I can go and do a bit of TNT mining and get myself some more netherite, maybe open a netherite shop, maybe. I'll have to think about that. Definitely open a gunpowder shop, right? So, yeah, I think that's looking pretty awesome. Like I say, the corridor needs some detailing and this room needs some detailing as well. So the walls are pretty plain at the moment, so I have a think about that and do something with them. And maybe do something with the back of the storage because it's not the nicest of views, I guess, looking at it, even though it is, you know, it's quite an impressive room. But yeah, one night of AFKing and every single one of those chests and all the buffer chests are full, rammed full. Like, stuff is just hanging on up at the top, it's just not going anywhere. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this build's gone. I mean, let's face it, right, though, it's taken 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to do the pit, the creeper farm, and then the storage room. I mean, the storage room took 2 days on and off, just because it was quite tricky with the fact that I had to put in the nether rack platform every time I wanted to do a little bit more of the wall. But I think that looks really cool. Like I say, if I detail the walls, I think that'll look brilliant. So let's head back up onto the roof. Let's head over to the creeper farm itself, and then I can talk a little bit about my future plans for that room. Let's head through there. Another cat there. A few of these cats just snuck through, and another one, and him. So I'm going to have a rail track on here, so just so I can save on rockets and stuff, and if anyone wants to come across and have a look at this on the server, then they haven't got to use an elytra. They might not have one, maybe. So yeah, I'm going to put a rail track, I'm going to light it all up and do something pretty fancy. And then here is going to be the museum. So I'm going to have a museum, and it's going to be dedicated to how the pit was created. It's going to have a replica of Bertie here. Bertie's my TNT GP machine. This is the raised work design that I used. And yeah, this one's lying dormant. It's getting snow on top of it. It's a little bit sad. But yeah, we're going to build a replica in the museum. We're going to have, so me and Catch both died in the creation of this pit. We're going to have memorials to that, and maybe like replicas of of how this farm works, maybe. But isn't this farm wonderful? Isn't it amazing? I mean, you can see why it took me so long to build. I mean, I would definitely do another pit. I really enjoyed working on this. I mean, I had to take breaks and stuff because it's a lot of work. And I've learned a lot doing it. I reckon I could do the next one a lot quicker. You can't see a lot dropping off now. I'm not in an ideal AFK spot. You have to be like 24 blocks away for stuff to spawn. But yeah, I'd do another one. I'd quite like to do a witch farm at some point. And so yeah, I think in the next few episodes we're going to do a little bit of work on the base, because I've neglected the base while I work on this. I need to do a little bit of work with the server. So I think we're going to try and do some community events, like do a cool spawn. So we've got a sand duper at the moment that takes up our spawn point. I'm going to reverse that. Going to find another portal room, and yeah, we'll dupe sand into the end rather than to the spawn point, and then we can have a fancy spawn. Do that as a community event. Work on the base, and yeah, I need to do a wither skeleton farm. I mean, I'm okay at the moment. I'm not selling too many beacons, but yeah, I've not got a wither skeleton farm since we reset that. Reset the nether, so yeah, plenty to get on with. And yeah, I just need to learn how to use the replay mod and OBS, and just when to record, when not to. The other thing I need to do is I've done a few tutorials. If you haven't watched them already and you want to learn about villager farms, I've done some AFK villager farms, and I've also spoke about the mechanics of how much a villager will farm in one day, so you can build the ideal size. So watch those, but I need to organise my footage a little bit better. It took me ages going through all the footage I recorded to find the relevant clips for this video. So lots for me to learn, but I mean, it's episode 11 of my series, so you know, I'm still really new to this, and I appreciate you watching the videos if you're coming here and watching them. And yeah, if you did like the video, then please hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my content, I'll be doing more tutorials. I'll be trying to keep up the Let's Play series. So hit the subscribe button for that, and I also stream on Twitch, and you can get me over at twitch.tv/abfielder. But anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode. That's all we've got time for. I'm Abfielder. Goodbye.